Okay, so it seems like we have a little bit of an update with the whole censorship situation, which has been going on over on YouTube and also just on the internet in general. Now, obviously, there's been two kind of sides to this. Obviously, me personally has been covering a lot of the YouTube side of things, as you know, that affects a lot of us, a lot of VTubers as well. And obviously, a lot of people are very worried about that. But also, there is another side, being the Visa and MasterCard kind of drama, besides that, where they're essentially trying to force game companies to take down a lot of games that they don't like because of some of the themes in them, which obviously is absolutely terrible for anybody trying to play a game that they want to, because again, you should be able to play whatever you want. It's fiction, it's not a real thing, and obviously a lot of card companies think that they have the power to kind of take it away and to refuse service to some of these companies like Steam and like other ones like this, just because they don't like what is being shown on their platform. And obviously a lot of people have a big problem with that, including obviously Ironmouse, who has actually spoken up about this, talking about the situation itself, which I thought was great to see. And there's been a lot of VTubers that have been speaking up against this and also against the YouTube censorship, which I wanted to get into as well, as the YouTube censorship seems to be getting even worse, as they've officially rolled it out just a couple of days ago. So let's just look at this clip and then we'll talk about it.
I don't know. Oh, did you guys see that NSFW going on? I was on Twitter and I saw that somebody wrote that it's happening. It's like extending the horror games now, and I was like, that's a step too far. Like, still target war games, man. The censorship is getting out of hand. I think, like, it just frustrates me
no matter
because,
if you
like,
weren't Ironmouse and came
so
back as
stupid.
someone else, we would flood that channel.
No, that can only be me. I think it's dumb. It's a slippery slope, and more things are gonna get censored. I get that you don't agree with everything and you don't like it. Like, there's content that I don't like, but that's not up to me.
Hi Mousey,
It's just not mine
regardless of
to
whatever
consume.
nonsense has or will happen, it can never take away from the amazing things you have done.
I'm just saying, it's just, I just feel like there's gonna be shit that I don't like. If I
hope
don't like
you
it,
and
I
the
just
rest of
don't
the
play it.
girls
What
will
the
make
fuck?
it out of this all unscathed.
Which I obviously think is definitely true. Like, if you don't like something that is on Steam, then just don't play it or don't interact with it. Again, it's just one of those things. But obviously, a lot of people, including obviously these card companies and people using these card companies to take down this, take down a lot of certain genres, a lot of certain kind of games, including stuff like, horror games. Obviously, for some NSFW stuff, I can kind of understand, but they're also taking down stuff like horror games and things with like violence and things in it, which I just don't understand at all. And people are pretty fed up with it. And obviously, Ironmouse is talking about it now, which is great to see, as it seems like, more and more VTubers and more popular kind of streamers are speaking up about this issue, because it is a big issue.
Henya, Melody, Ect. I hope for all of you can become stronger after this.
Thank you. And I know, like, their whole thing is like, oh, I guess like they're like saying, oh, think of the kids, the children. It's for the children. It's like, bitch, control your kids then. Holy shit. How about don't? How about it's your responsibility? How about that? Holy shit.
100% true, by the way. I definitely agree with that. I think a lot of people should be able to have control over their kids and be able to decide what they're viewing on the internet, rather than having a government or having a card company tell us what we can and can't look at, which I think is pretty insane.
A company has never made me laugh. A
Get those
company
kids off the
has never
internet!
made my cry. A company has never made the Donny Thornery noise for me when I was sick. You did all those things. I came for Ironmouse and I stay for Ironmouse.
Thank you. Their iPad. I'm like,
The censorship
man.
is being pushed by a bunch of moral busybodies who pester Visa and MasterCard into stopping payment processing for certain services. The UK is also going through a very hard time with all
I know,
this.
I saw.
Definitely a time to step up and make your
Well, I
voice
saw that
heard.
they're trying to do
I'd
that
recommend
shit
Charlie's
here
video
too.
about this if you need more information.
So yeah, that's essentially what, Ironmouse is saying about that. And, it's gotten even worse with, PayPal also not being supported on Valve due to a lot of the stuff that has been going on. And it's pretty terrible. And obviously a lot of people are very happy that, Valve have actually just dropped PayPal support, obviously due to the fact that they wanted to kind of change some things as well and change what can be on Steam and what can't be on Steam, which obviously is a big issue. And then also the censorship issue extends to the wider internet too. It's not just video games, it's also places like YouTube, which we've covered quite a bit over on this channel, including this one change, which obviously Chibi Reviews has been very vocal about, saying things like people are starting to slowly report they're getting this screen. It's probably rolling out slowly. Reminder, the only way to verify is through a government ID or credit card information on YouTube. Edit, only a matter of time until a TAP situation happens on a larger scale. Now, if you don't know what they're talking about, there's simply a kind of a TAP where essentially people could like snitch on men, and also there's a new one where men could snitch on women in like kind of retaliation, and both of them got hacked, and all the IDs with people's faces and things like that got leaked to everyone, and they ended up all getting doxxed on places like Twitter and other places like that due to the fact of them, you know, being quite negative towards men and quite negative towards women. And obviously, you know, we could see a very similar situation going on with YouTube, where essentially some people have seen there's a large amount of data coming in of a lot of IDs and things, and it could potentially be hacked, and it could cause a big issue for anonymity, which is a big issue for VTubers in particular, obviously due to the fact of their anonymity is quite sacred to them. And obviously we know that a lot of VTubers hate to show their face. Now, some, you know, don't mind it, and some already do, but you know, there are many VTubers who like to stay anonymous, which obviously providing an ID and, you know, an ID kind of coming into the picture will kind of ruin a lot of things. But also we got places like Dexerto as well talking about this, saying that people in the US are demanding that YouTube shuts down its new AI systems that tracks what you watch. If the AI thinks that you're under 18, content will be restricted unless you provide ID, which is also another big issue as to why people do not like this system, as it uses and relies heavily on a lot of AI kind of systems, which obviously isn't great for detecting people, because AI isn't at a point yet where I think it's absolutely flawless. You know, it's good, it's definitely good, and it's getting better like every single day. But I think at this point, it's really not, you know, that solid. And we've already seen cases of people being mistakenly identified as under 18, and they turn out to be like a 40-year-old man, you know, like it's one of these things that's pretty ridiculous. And I think that, you know, many people are getting pretty fed up of being constantly tracked and stuff like this online. And yeah, it can cause a really big data breach, which could cause a lot of problems in the future. And obviously, you know, this alongside the Visa and MasterCard stuff going on with a lot of video game kind of, you know, sites and stores and whatever you want to call it. Again, those two things are just a product of internet censorship, which has been increasing, you know, over the past couple of months, and it seems like it's only going to get worse. We've also had some things about some kind of EU laws to essentially look at people's chat messages and look at what people are talking about on their messages, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. And obviously they claim it's all for the kind of child safety stuff, when in actual fact we know it's not. It's just due to the fact that they want to watch you and they want to watch everything that you're doing. Which obviously I think that, you know, it's pretty ridiculous that they even go as far as to, you know, kind of, you know, do it to your messaging app now. Like, not even just YouTube, not just like Spotify and whatever they've been hitting. Now they're hitting your messaging app, which obviously a lot of people like to keep private. And yeah, a lot of people are pretty outraged by that. You also got people as well, like Culture Crave, saying stuff like YouTube's rolling out AI-powered age verification system today. It will assess a user's age based on factors including type of content watched, search activity, and longevity of the account. Now, in my opinion, I actually haven't had any kind of notification from YouTube to kind of verify my age yet. So again, you know, maybe it's a slow rolling out thing that they're doing at the moment. But again, I haven't seen anything personally, but obviously people like Chibi Reviews are coming out with these messages where essentially, you know, they have some kind of screenshots of them being asked to verify their age, which obviously, yeah, is pretty bad. You know, people saying you can verify with a selfie. In 20 years, YouTube hasn't had a major hack or leak ever of user information, which again, obviously, I don't really, I kind of get that, but at the same time, we've seen what kind of happens with YouTube. We've seen what happens, like with, for example, you know, people getting hacked by these crypto things. How are we supposed to trust them with our data and trust them with some very personal data as well? You know, how are we supposed to trust them whenever, you know, things like that are still going on the site to this day? You know, it's been years since the whole like crypto scam things happened, where essentially they get into your account via like cookies and things like that and set up a whole entire crypto scam on your account once they get in. And that's been a thing that's been going on for years. You guys probably know exactly what I'm talking about. but they still haven't managed to find a fix for that. But you know, we're supposed to give them our ID. Like, I honestly don't get it. And obviously, you know, I think that YouTube just holding on to it as a private company isn't great either, because, you know, it's owned by Google. You know, Google, you know, use a lot of data to determine adverts and things like that as well. And who's to say that they won't use it for that too, you know? And I think that a lot of people are very worried about, you know, a lot of this information being stored for longer than it needs to be. I'll see people saying that is all a way different thing. The T app was a thing that because they checked it manually, not via professional third-party apps, which again, yes, it is slightly different, but at the same time, you know, I think they're saying, like, in terms of a kind of situation, like, level, or like the breach level, not exactly how it was breached or how the company was run, but in terms of like the scale of the breach, it could be on the level of the T app. But again, you know, so far there hasn't been any breach, and so far, you know, some people have been getting these kind of verify age things, but yeah, it's just a big problem for a lot of people, and I think that honestly, it's just going to get worse. The more that you allow them to do this kind of stuff, the more they're going to take, and the more they're going to censor, and obviously, it's becoming a place where it's, yeah, not great to be around, and this has happened only in the course of a couple of weeks. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameStop, use my code Kazo, get 10% off again. They got a ton of really cool stuff over there. I definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. So, see ya.